In our last video, we showed you what it was like to drive into a big city and try to get settled into a campsite. Now, we've always told y'all that doing big cities in a van is hard, and in our last episode, we showed you some of the reasons why. We also started tackling how to use public transportation here in Europe, and we made our way down into the city of Budapest. We showed you a little tiny taste of what the city was going to be like, but then we made you wait for this video to see all the really amazing sights that there are to see here in this amazing city. So let's get to it, guys. We've got a lot to see. Welcome to Budapest.
And just like that, we arrive at the big basilica. And look at this thing. It is big and beautiful and ornate. Looks like it's made out of stone. Some big statues lining the upper levels. A big golden crown up on top of the dome. Multiple domes. A big church. I think we can go in. Let's go check it out, guys. Right in front of the basilica, you can see this big open plaza here and a lot of really ornate architecture around the city. But this church is just huge with some amazing statues just all over it. And some of them are giant and carved. But it looks like this is the entry to get in. So we're gonna see if we can come in. Snow's gonna sit this one out. She's gonna try to store up her energy. We got a lot of stuff to see today, and so she's gonna enjoy it from outside. So this is the St. Stephens Basilica, and construction began, the plan design began in 1851, and really went on for over 50 years through a couple different designers and engineers. At one point in time during construction, the dome crashed. One of the features are the grand organs, and they were built in 1905, and they have been updated since a couple times. But they are fancy organs, and I don't want to spoil this church by talking over, so I'm going to let the organs play while you guys have a chance to look at this beautiful church.
So right here next to the basilica, where Curt just gave you a tour, there's a little gelato shop that's famous for turning the ice cream into flowers. So I got basil lemon and a raspberry sorbet, and it's gonna be good, I can tell. But it's almost too pretty to eat. Look, guys.
So we've been walking around Budapest now for a few hours, and I wanted to stop and give you my first impression. This city has a tremendous amount of things to see. Now, right now, we're along the Danube River, and this is the second largest river in all of Europe, and it is a very famous river. And a lot of people go on riverboat cruises, like by Viking, where they'll cruise up and down all the way in through Austria and Germany, and it has a lot of beautiful stops along the way. Also, right here, you can do riverboat cruises and go up and down the river just in the city of Budapest. But it's a good time to tell you that Budapest used to be two cities, actually three, but we're going to talk about two right now, Buda and Pest. So as we look across the river over there at all those ornate churches, castles, and historical buildings, that used to be Buda. And where we've been walking around today, the church, the rose gelato, and all that stuff, that is Pest. So Budapest. So it was at one time two cities. Now today we're going to mostly spend our time in Pest, and tomorrow we're going to go over there and explore Buda. Don't worry, we're going to take you with.
Right back here behind me is a very special memorial. In 1944, Hitler overthrew the Hungarian government and immediately put one of his most ruthless general type people in charge of the area. And of course, one of the first things they started to do was round up all the Jews. And it started with the Jewish neighborhood, and they kind of forced them all to live in this very tight area. And we showed you that a little bit earlier this morning, that area. Of course, it's been redone now. But another thing they did is they rounded up about 100,000 of the Jews. They took 80,000 of them and started them on what they called a death march towards Austria. How many died along the way, I don't know. And the fate that awaited them in Austria was terrible, I'm sure. But right here, 20,000 Jews, men, women, small children, were rounded up and forced to stand right here on the banks of this river. And they had to take off their shoes, because during World War II, shoes were a very high commodity. People didn't have shoes. So they forced them to take off their shoes, stand on the edge with their backs to the river, and face their executioner, where they were shot and fell into this river and just floated down to nowhere. So this memorial is shoes from that era that have been, carved or molded or whatever they do with metal, and placed here as a memorial to the 20,000 Jews that lost their life right here to the executioner. Sad history all over Europe, well, all over the world. But this is a tough one, especially when you see those little baby shoes. All right, next up, we're going to take you to see the Parliament, which is one of the most beautiful buildings in all of Europe. Don't worry, we have plans to try to show it to you at night, because if you know anything about Budapest, the night views of where we're about to show you are supposed to be some of the most spectacular in the world. But we're so close, we're going to see it in the daytime too.
So on the Pest side, this is the Parliament House, and it is one of the most iconic features here in Budapest. It's one of the largest Parliament houses in all the world. And if you can see, it is ornate, and well, they light it up at night. So undoubtedly you've seen some pictures or some videos of this beautiful building. We hope we can capture it at night when it's all lit up. That's our goal. We'll see how that works out. But we're gonna walk up here a little closer and check out the Parliament House of Hungary. All right, guys, we're done with this little area. We're gonna go down to the Grand Market to catch some lunch. And this is our train, so we're hustling to get here. So one thing we have learned about Budapest this morning, it is a spread out city. Some of the cities we've been to have been really compact. Florence was an example. Even Venice was pretty compact, but this thing is spread out. And so we are winding down for the day, but there's a couple things left to do, and one of them is to visit the market, where we hope to check out some food and get something to eat. So I believe if I understood properly, the food stalls are upstairs. You can smell the salty meats right as soon as you walk in the door, with all the hams and sausages, and smoked ribs and kielbasa's, pork rinds, and then moving on right away, we're in the cheese section. All right, we are here for some market food. And so you can see goulash, Hungarian fish soup, stuffed cabbage, and chicken paprikash. And so I do know that paprika is a really huge dish. And as we look down the hallway of food stalls here, you can see there are a lot of people here and a lot of food stalls. So we are going to definitely be able to find something here. This is a big decision. They have their food on display, which is nice. But they got these big sausages with cabbages and potatoes. Some of it's wrapped in bacon. Oh, it looks so incredibly good. All right, we finally scored a table. It's crowded in here, and a table's a hot commodity.
We have learned that eating in the markets is worth it, though. We've had some good food in some markets around the world.
You typically get more authentic dishes. So this is a Hungarian goulash stew. They also have a soup, but me knowing Snow, I thought she'd want the stew.
Yeah.
And that's also, I think, kind of spetzels or dumplings.
Like a dumpling.
Like a dumpling. And I got stuffed cabbage, and I think it comes with sauerkraut. I think that's what that is on the side. And a big old sausage and some kind of sauce, and we got a couple lemonades. And it is a ton of food.
Yeah, how much was it? Do you remember?
It was 11,000 thingamajiggers, so we need to figure out
put it
what
on the
that
screen.
what that is. But guys, it's been a long, hard day. We deserve this food. We are going to eat it and enjoy.
Oh my, that is so good.
Is it good?
Oh yeah.
So the stuffed cabbage looks like it's stuffed with like rice, that is off the charts. It's vinegary. You can taste the paprika in it, and maybe even a little bit of sausage or something diced up. I'm not sure, but the flavor is awesome. I love some sauerkraut. The rice is good. Let me get a bite of this sausage right here. Of course, I got to dip it into some of this sauce. I don't know what it is. We made the right decision by coming here.
Yeah. And my goulash, this meat is just mush, but in a good way. And this seasoning and this little bit of gravy sauce over here is so incredibly flavorful. Absolutely delicious. We'll be back.
This is why you eat at the market. All right, this market clearly needs a little more area for the food section and maybe some seating, but it didn't slow people down. The lines are long. We're up here on the second floor of the market, and this is sort of the trinket area, if you will. And some of you guys may know markets are some of my favorite things to do in a big city. But markets really vary from city to city. Now, in some places you really get some authentic local crafts and artisanal stuff, food, jellies, jams, fruits, vegetables, beans, seeds, all that type of stuff. This one so far on the second floor looks to be fairly commercial. Not a lot of authenticity, but nonetheless they have a full variety of trinkets and, well, cool little things if you like stuff. And down on the first floor is where we find all the foods. And one thing that's really popular in all the Hungarian cooking is paprika and peppers. And you can see this store right here has loads. Also has some honey, some hot sauces, and some other stuff. I don't know what that is. Looks like some kind of neck, like a turkey neck, like maybe chicken neck, chicken feet. And I don't know what that is. Some fascinating looking meats here of various colors. It looks like a variety of birds. Finally, we made it down to the fruit and veg section. And I've seen a lot of cherries around, so I think it's cherry season, and also strawberries. There we have some white asparagus, and look at all of these delicious berries. Pears and apricots, peaches, all that stuff is very popular in this region as well. And it looks like they have a lot of different kinds of cherries there. Wow, looks really good. Nice bag of a variety of beans there. Yummy. All right, we just emerged from the market. Tasty lunch, a great experience. And now we're headed to our last event of the day. You want to tell them what it is, Snow?
It's a thermal hot spring spa type place. They're famous here in Budapest. There's a bunch of them. We have no idea if we've picked the best. To be honest with you, we've picked the closest.
This is actually a recommendation from Matt and Megan. And if you guys don't know who Matt and Megan are, shame on you. They appeared as guest stars in one of our videos from Mexico.
And spoiler alert, you're going to be seeing them in a few weeks.
But we're going to cross this bridge and go to what they recommended as one of the better thermal spas. So I'll have to look. I'm not even sure what that is. But it looks like a church or monastery or something, maybe a castle, carved right into the mountains over there. There's a big monument up on top and a big cross. And it looks like at the upper level you can go in. I'm guessing it's a monastery. But right over here is the Gelato spas, and these are the baths, are supposed to be the best thermal baths in town. I haven't verified that, but that's what I'm telling Snow. And look at the beautiful bridge we just came across. All right, we made it into the spa. It was 20,000 Hungarian. Let's go.
Budapest actually lies on a fault line where the Buda Mountains kind of clash with the Great Plains here in Hungary. And lots of thermal water comes up at that fault line. And it means there's over 100 natural thermal mineral springs right here in Budapest. Now, long time ago, way back in like pre times, some tribes came through here and settled, and we know they took advantage of the water sources because they named this something like Great Waters or something like that. But it wasn't until the 300s that the Romans came in here and developed this area, taking complete advantage of all of the hot springs. And this place kind of became like a cultural place where people would come for healing. There were Roman baths all over the place, and it was just a phenomenon that this area became known for, a wellness type place way back in the 300s. Now, many of those springs are still active today, and some of these hot springs date back to the 1800s or the very late 1700s. Some of them were built in the early 1900s, but the buildings are amazing, and they're all similar. Now, the one we've brought you to has, I think, 8 pools, different levels, steam rooms, cold pools, hot pools, different temperatures, and they're all that way. They all have this ornate tile on the ceiling and cool windows and many different levels, and it's just really a cool thing that makes Budapest very special as far as an international city. No other city can tell you they have 100 thermal mineral springs bubbling up in the middle of their city. So I am so glad we found the time to check one of them out. And if you're ever in Budapest, it needs to be on your list to take a couple of hours just to chill.
All right, that's it. That was a lovely day at the thermal baths. And I had to tell you, with the outdoor baths, the outdoor pools, and the inside stuff was really cool as well. And just had a nice relaxing time. A great way to end off the day. I know Snow's tuckered out and I'm all relaxed. We're gonna jump on this public transportation and see if we can't get back to the camper van before we do go back and do it again tomorrow. Well, we've collected snow and we are headed back to the van.
We made it. We maneuvered all of the crazy transportation here.
Honestly, we did get on the wrong
Kurt got us turned
train.
around
I got
once.
us lost once,
But
and
we ended up with a good view.
it was after the hot springs and we were worn out.
But we are back. We have about a half a mile walk, and I will tell y'all, when we did Venice, it's been my record on steps since my heart surgeries. We did 11,500. Right now we're at 11,700. So by the time I get to the van, we're gonna have blown my record out of the water, and I'm gonna immediately go to sleep.
New world record day today, guys. It's been an amazing day. This city is really spread out and big along the river, and there are so many things to see. We're gonna try to go back and see some stuff tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get to show you guys the lights, and we'll also hopefully get to show you the Buddha side. We spent most of the day on the Pest side today. All right, as promised, we're headed back into the city one more time. A rare occasion for us, but as you know, we did the Pest side last time, and so this time we're gonna do the Buddha side. The last time we tried the public transportation, this time we're taking a taxi. So our hopes are to see the city at night. So this is something, couple things we rarely do. Visit a city 2 days in a row and
Go
visit
out
it
at
at night. So this will be interesting.
Good to be alive. Good to be alive. I'm gonna run down a busy city street. I'm going far, you'll see a star on the concrete. Sing at the top of my lungs, it's good to be alive. Ring every bell to be rung, to more than just survive. You should come along with me, come along with me. I'm going where the wild hearts run free, lose myself in all the mystery. I am shining bright, whoa, dancing in the light, whoa, it's good to be alive.
All right, the taxi experience was much different than the metro and the bus station. It was definitely more expensive, but
Yes.
we also got to see a lot of different stuff that we wouldn't have got to see because on the metro we were underground.
Well, and it was a lot easier, to be honest, and there were no steps involved. And after yesterday, taking it easy today was the plan. But we get dropped off. I had stairs, so let's go.
What is the name of this place?
This is, should be the Fisherman's Bastion.
So this is the Fishermans Bastion. We are on the Buddha side, and we'll kind of give you in a second a little better picture of where we are. But we are across on the Danube River from Pest, and that over there would be the Parliament building. Oh, look at how big the church tower is above. It's one of the tallest buildings. Oh, those are the same height, I believe. The church and the Parliament are designed to be the same exact height.
So the cab dropped us off at the Fisherman's Bastion, which was a fortress built in the 1800s. Has 7 lookout towers and can see all over the river and a good lookout point. It's never had to be used as a fortress. And what it has turned into is just a really, really beautiful spot in this city. And then right when you come up the stairs and you take in all of that, I mean, the first thing you see is this church behind us, which I believe is built in the 1300s. Of course, it's had some renovations over time, you can tell. But it is the Church of Our Lady of Buddha Castle. And it is stunning. This is a really, really beautiful city. Now, I keep telling Curt that everywhere we go, there's some sort of statue, and that every building has some sort of ornate carvings or decor. I mean, even gas stations seem to be pretty in this town.
But up here, it's really something.
Knocking down walls, standing in my way. I'm swinging wide the gates, the world is mine today.
This place is incredible.
You should come along with me, come along with me. I'm going where the wild hearts run free, lose myself in all the mystery. I'm shining bright, whoa, dancing in the light, whoa. I'm ready now to dive into the deep, let the waves and wonder carry me. I'm shining bright, whoa, dancing in the light, whoa. It's good to be alive. It's good to be alive. It's good to be alive. It's good to be alive.
Only 20 minutes till the lights come on. We can let the lights come on and we can go eat wherever we want to.
Come along with me. Come along with me.
All right, so we were trying to get into the Hilton. We didn't have a reservation, and we got lucky. And can you say your name for me?
My name is Timi, but it's Timea.
Timea.
Yes.
And she was able to get us a table. Thank you so much. She's such a sweetheart. We're going up.
Yeah, and
Have a great time.
When we get up top, you guys are going to see how special this bar is. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
I'm going where the wild hearts run free, lose myself in all the mystery. I'm shining bright, I am shining bright. It's good to be alive. It's good to be alive. It's good to be alive.
All right, I need to back up a minute. We had thought about, because we've heard the view up here was good, we thought about making a reservation. We thought about doing a boat cruise on the river. We thought about finding a restaurant right down by the river shore, and we just waited too late. We never made up our mind, and then all the reservations were booked. But Matt, who you're gonna meet again if you don't remember who he is, from Mexico, had told us that this is one of the best views of the Parliament building. So we were walking by it and we're like, maybe somebody canceled. And we walked in the lobby and the universe was kind to us. We got a nice table up there, had a quick snack, a glass of, what is it, Prosecco?
They're kind of famous wine here from the Hungarian.
Their bubbly wine. And short and sweet, we saw what we came to see. Now we gotta go get a cab. I think it's time to go home.
Go home.
But Budapest is beautiful at night, that's for sure. Our cab ride from the restaurant back to the campground was interesting, to say the least, but the guy did give us some really good food tips and tell us about a wine region that it looks like we're probably gonna be driving through. But this is where we are gonna wind this video down. We were back to our van. We did 2 days in Budapest, or 1 day and 1 night in Budapest. And seeing the lights in Budapest was very important to me. It's something I've always wanted to do. And getting lucky and getting that table at the rooftop bar was amazing. But with that, I think I'm gonna tell you guys that I preferred the cab to the public transportation, mainly because the walking was a lot less. But we will see you guys in a few days from somewhere else here in Hungary. Cheers. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us a lot. And if you want to see more of our videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos come out. We'll see you guys in a few days from somewhere out here in the world. Cheers.